And I tried very hard and I listened and I paid attention and I was never lazy. I don't believe there's a person on the planet who pays attention, tries their best, is never lazy, is on time, works hard, has a mentor, and is giving it his all, who isn't rich. I don't believe it. I think that if you do all those things, you're rich. And if you don't have any money, you're missing one of those key elements. Now you can fool yourself and you can fool everyone else and you can pretend you're doing them. But if you're truly honest with yourself, am I finding people who are trying to teach me what I want to know? And am I trying my best? And the answer is fucking no every time.
Do you think there ever come a time or an age where you feel you have to slow down?
That's a good question as well.
Thank you very much.
No, it is. No, but it is, because it's actually been recently people have said.
Maybe I've got to that age where I've got to slow down a little bit.
Well, we're speeding up.
Yeah. Well, I've had family members say to me, Andrew, why now? Why are you doing it? But it becomes a lifestyle. Like
I would say you're young enough to keep this pace up at the moment.
For sure. And I will. And there's going to be a point when I'm definitely going to slow down. But it's almost second nature to me. It's not a conscious thing. If I'm awake, I don't see why I wouldn't be doing something constructive. I'm a conscious now. I've woken up. I'm either in the gym or I'm working. What else am I going to do besides turn my brain off in front of Netflix? It's just all clown world to me. If I'm awake, it's work or training. And that's how I've always lived. And that's just how I'm going to live as long as I can. If I get to a point where I fully need to slow down, then I'll slow down.
So you talked about dreams and plans and how they're different. How does someone, I feel like there's a mental barrier in between actually taking action and finding the mentors and stuff. How do you break that barrier? Is that through watching like your content online?
Well, it's interesting about watching content because watching content can be a double-edged sword. You can learn a bunch of things, and everyone at home here, I like to feel like they're getting value and they're learning things. But there's also the other edge of people who feel like if they just watch a bunch of shit and do nothing, that they're taking action. They feel better about themselves, but they're not actually taking action. Yep. You know, so you have to balance the two carefully. Ultimately, it's going to be action that shapes your world. Ultimately, you're going to have to do something. So if you're watching something, you should be very conscious of what it is. I mean, I've created my reality, absolutely. I've cut out all bullshit in my life. Like, I don't have TikTok installed on my phone band. So I don't have anything. I don't have anything installed on my phone. I don't absorb any bullshit, fucking random entertainment. I don't watch any podcasts of anyone else. Like nothing. I don't need to.
Obviously, you watch the Strike It Big podcast.
Of course. Sorry, I watch Strike It Big podcast. But I get a daily report at the end of each day and spend 4 minutes analyzing. I get what I need in 4 minutes. Read the piece of paper, boom, done. So I've tried to be very, very efficient with it. But yeah, you have to be careful if you just watch too much content. Like you guys have a website, right? And you teach things. I have a website, I teach things, whatever. If you watch this podcast and you've genuinely learned things from it, then you should be on one of the two websites by the time the end of the conversation ends. If you're going to watch the podcast and go, yeah, they're all pretty smart. Anyway, then you've wasted your time.
I get it in the comments where people have got what you've said. They've got it. And they reply to you, I've got it. My reply is, well, action it. Because nothing's going to happen. It's no good you just getting it. You've got to action it. You've got to look long term at it and keep going.
Completely. It's action that shapes the world. So if you're going to watch something, it needs to either tell you what to do or inspire you to take action. If you're not going to take action, you're going to fail.